what's going on, and then eventually one day the show will start. It's okay.
It's the thing.
I might have.
Off. She's like, I might. That's it. The
I might.
tension's too much. The
I have
tension's too
to
much.
sign off early. That's all. I'm just saying.
Oh, she might have to run
work
away
to
on us. That's okay. We
Sorry.
appreciate you being here. It's okay. We appreciate
Oh,
your
okay.
presence. Your presence
I
is
don't know
our
if I'm
present.
okay.
You know? We're entering the silly
So
season.
nice.
You are our gift to us. You are our gift to us. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But it will tell you where my brain is at tonight/today. Hello everyone. Welcome to Uncensored Radio's UCR Live for another week. The weeks are rapidly disappearing. I'm looking at the calendar. We are nearly at the end of another year. Oh my god. Where does the time go? We ask ourselves these questions and many, many more. But that's our job, to ask these questions. Hetero Tim is with us this week. He's here. He's wearing a hat because that's how straight he is.
It's so straight.
How are you, my friend? How's your week been?
Good. A lot of leaves. A lot of leaves falling, so trying to clean up the yards as best as we can and lighting fires with leaves and all that fun stuff because 'tis the season. And we are going to Virginia to be with my family for Thanksgiving next week. So we're going to pack up all the Thanksgiving stuff before we go so that we can get a tree the day that we get back because we do that the day after Thanksgiving, even though it's a little early this year because I'm a Christmas decorating freak. So,
you're a Griswold.
Yeah. I got to get all that out of the attic and start plugging away on that stuff. So,
you've turned into a suburban house dad since you got married, haven't you?
I've always been that guy. I couldn't find the female to trust me to let me do it, and most of like just do it when I'm not home, and if it looks good when I get home, we'll leave it. So.
There you go.
I just get to play. So
he's firmly ensconced himself into suburbia now. He's like, look at my yard. Look at it.
Get off my lawn. That's me now.
Yeah.
He's gonna be full Gran
with a cup of coffee.
Do you do full outside lighting?
I'm sorry. Say that again, Vera.
Do you do full outside lighting? You do your house?
Oh yeah. I got like a whole plan. We got like an 8-foot nutcracker that lights up.
Oh, nice.
I've got like one of those Grinch standees that looks like he's pulling the lights off the house that we light up. Yeah, we go all out. We're gonna
have to see that. I think we're gonna have to see the finished product. You have to send them.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Oh look, no problem.
Yeah,
we'll save it for the Christmas special. It's all good. We'll save it for the Christmas special. Oh, you guys are screwed because I'm actually going to be in the country to boss you around. Every time it gets close to Christmas, I was like, "Oh, I don't want to do anything." I'm like, "We need this. I need this from you now. Send it to me now.
Send me your Christmas greeting.
Send me a Christmas video now. Do it now." Never mind. It's okay. I can be annoying close and afar. That's my skill. It's my multi-talented skill. So while Tim's busy doing the outside of his house, Christina's decorated the offices. Yes.
I have.
Yeah.
We have painted. This will be gone next week or whatever. I have new stuff to go on the wall, and hopefully we're just gonna revamp a little bit because I have to have my son's second birthday is tomorrow. My son's turning 2.
Oh, yay!
So I think for like the first time in 5 years, I'm actually having people at my house, besides like random tiny little birthdays that I've had. But this is the most people I've had at my house ever. And my house is very tiny. So I've been cleaning all week. I had my dad repaint the dining room, and now I bought things to go on the windows, things to go on the wall. I have to clean tomorrow. I have a million things to do, and work has just been crazy. I could go on for hours. It's just been a very.
It's like that. It's like we've gotten to these last 2 months of the year, and everyone's gone, "Hey, you know everything you ever had to do You have to do it now.
Right.
You've got to do it right now because there's no time. There's no more time in the year. You've got to do it right now, and it won't be an easy process. And everything that can go wrong will go wrong because that's the kind of year it's been. I'm just like,
Curtains you've had since August have got to go up. That new shower curtain that's still in the bag has got to come out of the bag and go upstairs. All the stuff that you meant to do back in October.
Yeah.
I sat down at work one night last week. I was just like, what? I'm like, huh? And then before I realized, I was trying to get all the things organized and send emails and stuff, and it was 10:05 at night, and I'm like, oh, I'm going home. Goodbye. Goodbye. I've got to be back here in a couple of hours. See you later. Bye. It's just like, what? Why this year? Why November? That's why it's November. I don't want to do it. No, November. How is Vera?
I'm good. I'm gonna show you. I got the tree up. It's lit, but it's not.
The tree is lit. The tree is lit.
I did that this weekend. I have boxes of decorations behind me. That's why the chair is tipped this way. So you can't see the boxes.
There's nothing wrong with a little bit of creative framing, Vera.
Yeah, exactly.
It's beautiful.
And that's also why I'm so well lit tonight.
I know. It looks like you're living in a lighthouse. It's very nice.
Daytime where I am.
Vera's like, the Aurora Borealis in Vera's living room at this time of year? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm a big Christmas geek, just like Tim, but I only do the inside.
Yeah, we should get you to a reality show, and you can. Tim does the outside, Vera does the inside, and Christina.
I love that.
Me and Christina come and go. It's all right.
The first time I
walk away.
I'll just be drinking and judging.
You and Dia can do the drinking. That's what she does when she.
Yeah, you can hang with Dia.
Yeah,
she likes to drink.
Oh, I would have a blast.
And I got eggnog.
Jeffrey can be doing a meatball marathon inside. It'll be good,
Yeah.
And I'll just linger in the doorway.
First time I did a Christmas greeting for Steve, I was showing everybody my Christmas decorations. He's like, Christmas exploded or threw up in your house.
Yeah. Look, it's been the friendship's been a long thing. I just accept it now. We just accept that Vera is internal Christmas. That's good.
I love it.
It's internal Christmas. It's part of the reason that I'm re-seeking my Christmas spirit.
The season of peace and love and giving. Peace on earth.
Yeah.
Look toward men.
Something
How do you not love Christmas?
Oh, so good.
Right?
And you can drink.
Yeah.
And drunkenness is acceptable. That's all good. It's all good. We live for a reason to be drunk. That's all good.
And to be lit.
And to be lit. That's what Vera said. Oh, my tree's not decorated. It's lit. I went, I'm getting that as a Christmas t-shirt.
Yeah.
I'm not decorated. I'm lit. That's it. That's the Christmas t-shirt. Full show. We should make it actually.
We should do an uncensored.
Uncensored radio. We're not uncensored Christmas.
Definitely.
We're not decorated. We are lit. Well,
that up in the SD.
That's quite true at Christmas time for some of us. It's okay.
Red.
It's all right. I know. Just chuck it up there. Everything must go. All right. Well, since I don't know where Jeffrey is. He's disappeared.
He blew me out for dinner yesterday too.
What a
bastard!
I know, right?
He is Jeffrey. Jeffrey is trying to wrangle a 12-foot Christmas tree. I have seen.
He wrangled it. It's up.
I've seen it. He gave me a tour of ornaments as well.
Lit but not decorated.
No, it was partially decorated when I saw it. He gave me.
Oh, maybe
it's like, oh look, he's like, here's so and so with no hands. He's like, it's good. You can tell he has children. He's like, here's Jessica Rabbit. Here's Roger Rabbit. Here's so and so with no hands. Here's someone with no hair. It's like, oh, Jeff. He's like, that's tree number 1. I'm like, what? Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I have a plan for tree number 2, but it's not. I might not go up till after Thanksgiving. And if we're throwing a party, I might do tree number 3 as well.
We have a Christmas tree that's probably about this big.
Oh.
Yeah.
We like for next year, we're actually planning on taking a wall down in our house so I can get a specific tree to put in the front window.
No way.
Yeah, because I hate where we have to put it because we have a tiny house, so like where our tree has to go, it's like you have to move couches against doors, and there's just barely any room. And we get like an 8-foot like full tree, but I want to put it in the front window so bad, but there's no room with the table, so we're gonna knock down the wall to move the table over so we can put a tree in the front window.
What wall?
What wall?
The room that I do the podcast in, my former dialysis room. We're gonna take down that wall that separates that wall in the kitchen. So we'll make like the kitchen like a long room across the whole front of the house.
Well, mine is in front of my doorway, and you used to be able to see it from the street, but the neighbors
so pretty.
edge, you can't see it from the street.
Fucking neighbor. Well, people are such assholes. Fucking
I
glitches.
know.
They probably don't put lights up either. Fucking assholes.
Last year all they put up was this little lit truck.
Oh, what an asshole.
Was it a fire truck, Vera?
No, in the United States,
right.
it's a really big trend to have these old Ford pickup trucks. With
Yeah, we have a planter like that. Yeah, we have a little planter like that.
They're very
We used to,
What,
when
is
I
that
was
a
growing
load-bearing wall now?
No, the other wall, the wall behind me into the washroom would be, but this one could come down no problem. We just have to blend the floor together. That's gonna suck. No, the door's gonna stay. Like that hallway wall's gonna stay. We're just gonna seal off the door, and then the wall into the kitchen, like behind the front door, is gonna go. So the whole front of the house will be the dining room, so to speak.
It's open plan living. It's
one
what
with-
people are doing these days. It's very
The one where the tote rack is?
Yes.
How the fuck are you going to take that wall down?
With a hammer and a lot of anchor.
Yeah. Christina, take your drinks over. It'll be good to watch.
We'll talk to Doug about it this weekend. What's that?
You're gonna bring it to the washroom, to the laundry door? You're just gonna extend it to the laundry door? Or are you gonna open up the whole dialysis room?
No. We're gonna keep that hallway back where the bathroom is, that little hallway. So it's just that one wall that's gonna go away, but we're gonna take the door out and sheetrock it so that it's a solid wall.
Okay.
She's with you now.
Okay.
Yeah. That's kind of very
Okay.
cool and symbolic, reclaiming your space and going, okay,
Yeah,
this space was used for this, but now it's going to be for everyone. It's celebratory. Our beautiful Christmas tree can go there.
Yes.
We like it.
Because
It's very therapeutic.
Like we did open up the house, so that when we entertain, because it's so small, that way if you're in the kitchen, you could see everybody, no matter where anybody's sitting. But there's just not enough room. Like we had people over for Melissa's birthday, and it's like it was 8 people we could barely fit. So we needed more room for
the
seating.
rehearsal dinner.
So,
Wow. It was like 75 people there.
Yeah, we had to tell like people to stand outside. Yeah.
Get outside. We don't like you. You don't get
I got the fire going. Go stand by the burning wood.
Yeah, you don't get to stand inside. You get to come inside to greet the birthday girl, then you leave.
Actually, at one point, if you can't get in through the side door, you walk to the front of Tim's house to walk into the front door to get into the house, because like you don't want to push everybody out of the way just so that you can get into the side door. You go to the front. Like he did that and I did that the night of the rehearsal dinner. Actually, I was like, "You just walked around." He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "I did that before." Like
planning. We like it.
The house is crowded.
Yeah. Gotta happen.
Full house, full heart, and we're full of stories this week. So let's jump into this week's
hot load of hot topics.
I wish it was a way we could get that graphic just constantly moving for Tim. That's like a Christmas present.
Yeah. Can you make it a little bit bigger? I
know, right? We'll give you like a full. I'm sure Melissa would be thrilled.
Can somebody do like a VR thing? I've got like the goggles that maybe like
we'll get a better resolution one. That's from way back. That one. That's from I think when the show first went to video and everyone was recording on potatoes and stuff like that. It was good times. It was like, but
yes,
times change, people change. Yeah, times change, people change. But some people just run. Some people just run when the running is good. Good on you. Ivanka Trump, I think the biggest, best cut and run in the history of the world, took the stand at her father's fraud trial and basically was like, I didn't do it. I don't know. I have no idea. I have to go again, though. I just left the
I
building.
think my favorite moment of the trial was when Don Jr. said, I'm a businessman. I'm not an accountant.
The men in that family are so incredibly fucked by this law, like by this trial. They are like they're fucked, and she just pieced out at the right time. Like she's just like,
Yeah.
getting married. Me and the Kush, we're out. Me and the Kush are going. We're going. We're going. We're gone. I don't know anything about all this money, even though that was my job before I left.
Yeah.
But you know. Do you think that she was maybe had a bit of a heads up as to what was coming and got out while the get was good?
I wonder if she didn't turn states.
You're against Daddy. Oh,
You know,
it just seems really, really convenient that there was this big hullabaloo. If we go back, what, 12 months ago now, maybe. We talked about her stepping away from the family business and all that kind of stuff and getting married and da 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 da. And then all of a sudden, New York is coming after the Trumps, and she's like, "Oh, I don't know. I don't know. It wasn't me. Don't ask my mother though, because she fell down the stairs accidentally."
I do think she's the smartest of the Trump children.
I know, like get more power. I'm like, get out while the getting's good. Claim ignorance and be like, I can't help you with that. I'm sorry. I can't help you. Where's Tiffany?
Tiffany's never been in the picture.
Where's Tiffany Trump? She's just like
never been in the picture.
She's just chilling.
We're New Yorkers, we know. Tiffany's not been part of the scene. When you've got the Trumps at Christmas, the Trumps at the Christmas tree lighting, whenever you see the Trump family, Tiffany did not exist as part of that family until he got elected president.
Yeah, and Tiffany and Igor are just like in the background.
Yeah, suddenly she trots her out for public appearances, and he walked her down the aisle at her wedding, and we haven't seen her since.
Well, he doesn't want to fuck her, so it's okay.
Oh God!
I know.
Well, not my words. His, you know. That's how you speak about your daughter. It's interesting.
Really?
You know. Yeah, she's just like bopping in semi-obscurity until something happens. But Donald Jr.'s fucked. If Dad's fucked, Donnie Jr.'s fucked.
Dad and his attorneys are throwing DJT under.
Yeah, he's the sacrificial lamb, right? He's going.
If anybody's serving time, it's going to be Don Jr.
Yeah, with that greasy hair. Why? Like, these people are so rich, or allegedly. These people have so much money. You can't tell something. You're like, that's too much. That's too much product. Or, wash your hair. Like, why are you so greasy? Why are you so greasy?
Money doesn't buy you class.
Countess Luann down there. Money does not buy you class. Money don't buy you class.
Everything is alleged.
Everything is alleged until you can just Google it. See, I don't get it. I don't get how they're still like, yes, no, we have done everything correct. You can just Google their names and fraud and illegal activity, and it comes up. It's there. It's there for you to see. It is not made up bullshit. Like, this should be open, shut, open, shut them, open, shut them.
New York and New Jersey are riddled, and I mean riddled, with independent contractors who were approached by the Trump organization, said, we got this project. We can make you rich. Let's do it together. Come on. I'm looking for a guy like you. And then the Trump organization stiffed them. And
we know how many people work in construction.
Yeah.
in New York. It's okay. They sleep with the fishes, though. It's all right. That's
I live
Christina.
in
Forget
central
about
New
it.
York, miles and miles away from
Yeah.
Manhattan. And there are contractors in central New York who were stiffed by Trump.
It's just like a very far-reaching, insidious moment. Like it's like, dude, really? But
Yeah.
he was never. I don't know. Until he was president, he was never. He was just like a joke, and then everyone's like, no, this guy knows
No,
what to do.
he was the king of Manhattan in the 80s. He really was. To be fair, to give the devil his due, he and his first wife were the perfect couple. They hosted charity events, they were everybody's friend. They hung out at Studio 54. They were the it couple in Manhattan.
They like
But
to go
then,
to Epstein
after
Island.
years of pulling his grift, Manhattan got tired of them.
But then The Apprentice too.
Yeah,
I think
but
brought him back to
I
fame.
feel like that was never like a serious like. Everyone's like, oh, you're fired.
Oh, I thought it was. I mean,
It's like
the way that my family watched it, we loved it.
Very serious about it. Very serious about.
Yeah.
How did your family deal with the change? Did they watch
Change
it
of what?
after he left? Donald left.
Office?
No, after he left The Apprentice. More important.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I remember watching it with my
Governor
dad.
Schwarzenegger.
No,
Get to
definitely
the
not.
chopper.
No. I remember Bill. I remember the other chick. What was her name? Amaris or whatever the hell. What was her name?
Omarosa.
Omarosa.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe we watched like 3 or 4 seasons. All right. Well, how long was he on there for?
Forever.
I don't know. Never watched it once.
Forever.
I mean, it was
I
good.
never watched it actually.
The good one was the celebrity one, to watch celebrities just lose their fucking minds.
Yeah, that too. Like that was a lot of fun. Like again, it was just interesting.
Who cares about regular people? Ew, I want to watch B and C list
Was
celebrities.
Joan Rivers a big slime bucket in the Celebrity Apprentice? Didn't she sell her soul?
Yeah. She's like, oh, I hate him. Oh, I'm Joan. I hate it. I'm Joan. God rest. The world's just not as funny anymore without Joan here to keep us all in line. That's okay. A surprising amount of people have commented on this story this week. Will Smith.
I know. This is crazy, right?
I can't believe that you're not more outraged about Will Smith, because he seems to be getting up there with Britney these days. We're talking about Will every fucking week. But Will's allegedly
We've been talking about Britney every week for 4 years.
Hey, I can't help it that she's in the zeitgeist, Vera.
11 months.
But Will Smith, Will Smith's former assistant alleges that he walked in on Will and Dwayne Martin mid Humpy Pumpy back in the 90s, and that was part of. I'm guessing this guy's NDAs are up well and truly, because.
Do we still care about this? Is this still a problem?
I just think it explains a lot about Will. I mean, this is
bullshit.
Really, this is not a new rumor. This is not a new.
I don't think it's bullshit because he's taking the guy to court now because he's defamation.
But so has Tom Cruise, and so has John Travolta, and to me, when you get this litigious over things, it's like, why are you so sensitive about it? I mean, what is Will Smith? What is a gay rumor for Will Smith at the moment going to do to his career?
Right.
Yeah. Right.
As a black man,
as anyone, where is his career now at the moment? Nowhere. For a guy that used to be box office gold. Yep, millions upon millions of dollars. He can't get hired in that town anymore. He's literally been kicked out.
It has more to do with the slap than his sexual.
I know, but is the latest gay rumor really going to do anything to his career now?
No. Yeah, I think, like you said, this just explains more about the whole Jada Pinkett Smith thing. You know what I mean? Like in that whole dynamic. And you're kind of like, oh, okay, that makes a little bit more sense. You know, while she was looking elsewhere and he was elsewhere, and while he would have been cool with something like that, you know, it's definitely, I think, a little eye opening. You know, where you're kind of like, oh, okay.
I just think when you have to get that litigious about something, like last week we talked about Hugh Jackman and Deborah Lee Finesse, $100 million NDA. Like, what is so important? Like in Hugh Jackman's case, I get it if they think that
apparently
him coming out is going to hurt his action hero, like I'm Wolverine status. Yeah, we get that. Yeah, that might hurt.
Isn't telling all.
Yeah, well, who's tell all book tells all? No one's at the moment. It's just like, I'll tell you what I want you to know. I'll tell you what I want you to know. Is basically what they should be called. But in the, does anyone? I don't know. Christina's right. As a black man, there's still a lot of stigma.
And I hate to say that, but it's true.
No, but it's true. It's the culture.
It's definitely a bigger deal in that culture than I think in most others.
Yeah.
Well, it's also a big deal because there's already a population, a percentage of the population who thinks less of him because of the color of his skin.
Yeah.
You know, and so for that population to be a black man and to be bisexual has got to be horrific. You know?
Yeah, like the comedian that came out from whose line is it anyway? What's that guy's name?
Yeah, we covered him. What's his name? Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. Cuba Gooding, not Cuba.
No.
Wayne Brady?
Yeah, Wayne Brady.
He came out as bisexual.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Or gay. Just full on.
No, I think he said he was bisexual. At the moment, he's bisexual. I remember. Yes.
Like, look how long it took him to come out. Like, I feel like I knew that, like, from day one, seeing him as an actor. Like, you just knew it. Like, he's just very flamboyant, you know? Like, he just gives out the aura. But, like, you know, then he says it, and it's like, why'd you wait so long, man? Like, who cares? But then again, like, he's now, back now on TV, and...
Yeah, he's now at a point in his career where he's safe. You know, like, you know, I mean, he is.
Yeah,
he's got his gig. He's made enough money behind him that if something were to go south, he's not going to be destitute and poor.
He's an EP on his game show, right?
I believe so.
He's an EP.
Yeah, I believe so.
He
but
owns that.
He's also like he's got that place where he is, you know, in America's homes more than once a night. So like when I was over there was like he was on one show, then he was on the next show. I'm like, Jesus Christ, boy, you're like spreading like no one's business.
He is brilliantly funny.
Yeah, when you're entrenched in the culture that way, I think that it's a little bit more easily absorbed. Let's flash back to the 90s. There was a big remember the hullabaloo around Ellen coming out. I mean, hello. And
better than you guys.
Yeah, Rosie O'Donnell being a lesbian but not being a lesbian, you know, it just wasn't talked about back in the day.
There was a very funny clip from Rosie's show where Ellen was on, and it's disappeared. I haven't seen it in years, but they were both talking about being Lebanese and
yes.
Ganoush.
Yes, I've seen that one. Yeah. But she, like, even that whole, remember she used to do that whole song and dance about, oh, I love Tom Cruise and da 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 da. Like, she had that thing, and it explains to me when this news came out on TikTok this week. There's been so many like people replaying the Margot Robbie Will Smith interview where they're like, oh, they're dating, and it came out like all of that stuff started to like leak out before this happened. It's like, oh, are we covering the ground? Are we covering the ground already? Like, because they want us to believe that he's in love with Margot Robbie, or like,
I don't think we're on the same. Don't think we're on the same algorithm anymore. I didn't see that on TikTok this week.
My algorithm's all over the place. I watched my look. You can tell by my eyes. I'm like, must scroll till I drop the phone on my face. Ouch! So bad. So bad. I should never have downloaded TikTok, but that's okay.
I got to revert back to my new constant position. Love is love. Why do we care?
I know, especially
but that's I mean, for me, I mean, I grew up with a homosexual uncle, right? So like we were around at a very young age. So but I honestly believe, at least like people I talk to, and I have some friends who are very conservative. I have some friends who are very liberal, and like talking to all of them, it's like most of the responses when stuff like that is brought up is like, who gives a shit, you know? And it's like, yeah, I think that, you know, and we've talked about this before. It's like honestly, most people in the day to day don't really give a shit about a lot of like the talking points that happens, but it is a talking point, right? I mean, it's a big name. It's a big change to a name. Like, I was actually the one person I can remember hearing when they came out as homosexual was Luke Evans. When I found out that when he was gay, my mind was fucking blown. Only because he presented such like a masculine person in his
hold on,
in his films and stuff. That when I was like, wow, I almost appreciated the fact that he was gay because I don't know. I just to me, I looked up to him so much, like I said, like as a masculine kind of you know, movie star, like an action type of guy. That when I found out that he was gay, I was like, wow, that's kind of cool, actually. You know, like, but that was like the last person I remember really like caring about, you know, or hearing about and being like, wow, okay, like this Will Smith thing is kind of like, okay, like you said, I get it about the Jada thing now, but I could care less who he's having sex with. Like it doesn't make a difference.
Don't waste your money suing him, Will. We don't care.
Why get so bothered about it? Like, to me, that says more. Like, if you're gonna be like, I have to sue you because you implied that I was gay. It's like, dude, calm down. Like, if you either are or you're not, but like it doesn't matter. Like, in the grand scheme of things, who does it matter to?
Right. A handful of 80-year-olds
that won't have a chance to see you in a movie anyway because you're not making movies.
Right.
Like
maybe he needs the money. Maybe that's why he's doing it.
Here you go, Christina. This is a choice shot of Luke Evans. All right.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Like I didn't know he's an actor. You said.
Yes.
I'll find a photo of him that's not
swimwear. In the live action.
Yeah, he was Gaston in Beauty and the Beast.
He was also.
He was in Girl on the Train. He played the boyfriend. What the hell is the other? He was in The Raven with the Edgar Allan Poe movie, The Raven. I love that. He was Dracula in Dracula Untold.
Look, you are a big fan, Tim.
I fucking love him. I think he's great. He's one of my favorite actors. Anytime he pops up in a movie, I'm like, it's got to be good. I just love him as an actor.
Boy can sing. Boy can sing.
Yeah.
Boy can sing. And Patrick Wilson can sing too. Here he is. You might know him a bit more. That's Luke Evans.
Okay.
Yeah. But just for a reminder, this is also Luke Evans. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I do have to.
She's gonna go. Christina's dying. We love you.
I have to cut off. I'm sorry. I will see you guys in a week or two. If I'm not on next week, happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy.
Hey, that's all right.
Good night.
Good night. All right. So now that we've talked about Luke Evans, we're going to talk about more misogyny, I guess.
All right.
Mixed misogyny, and it's interesting. We've got a. I think this is the three of us can maybe have a decent conversation about this. So the Marvels, which is the latest MCU movie, has come out, and everyone and their dog is happy to tell you that this is a flop. This movie is the worst worst debuting Marvel movie ever. Blah blah blah. So it has not made its budget back at the moment. It's a $274.8 million movie, so it's a big movie. It's only made $114 million back so far. So in Marvel standards, yes, not really a huge, return on their investment. But
reports that I have heard say that it's really good. It's like one of the classic Marvel movies.
That's what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
So it's actually made history though. with it is the first movie made by a black female director to make over $100 million in its debut. So it's a history-making movie. The issue with the movie seems to be with the fan base and the movie, which, for want of a better, better term, it's misogyny because this is a female-led movie.
Right.
The majority of the lead cast are female. When you look at the
we
billing,
also got that same kind of scuttlebutt when the Jesus Christ, my memory's like Swiss cheese. The
when Captain Marvel first came out,
Captain Marvel movie first came out, everybody's like, "Oh,
yeah.
she was not nearly as good. She's not a superhero."
And everyone has an issue. That's the other thing I was going to say. Everyone also has an issue with Brie Larson and her reaction to the fan base, because I think that there's been really toxic stuff said about her and about the part, and that she's this, that, and the other. I think that, and she hasn't run away from it. She's like literally spoke up about it and mocked the fan base. So she's it's very interesting. I actually went and saw it because I really enjoyed the first one, and it's a great movie. It's better than.
Can't see it, but I gotta find somebody to go with me because
better than Guardians of the Galaxy Part 3.
I love Guardians.
Better than Guardians. The young Iman Vellani, who plays Ms. Marvel, from the Disney Plus TV show, is brilliant. Like, she's so good. I can't help but think there might be a bit of a problem with 1, 2, 3, 4 of the main female characters are also not white. I hate to say it.
So coming from somebody who was a big comic book person growing up, and I was into Marvel. I mean, I was more of an X-Men type of person, but this is a lesser known character. I haven't seen either of the two movies, so this is just what I've heard as far as feedback goes. That the first one kind of turned people off, and I don't know exactly why, but I've heard that a lot of people who are into that were turned off by the first movie. And again, it's just a lesser known character, so I don't know if it has the draw that like the Avenger movies had, where you had collective, like the team aspect to it.
Into Captain Marvel.
To an extent, I will agree, but Captain Marvel is. I was a comic book kid too, as well. Avengers fans know who Captain Marvel is.
Yes, but there's a lot of stories.
Oh yeah, no, I understand she's part of that whole universe.
But for the general public, I get that they might not understand it. But the Guardians, comic book fans didn't even know who the Guardians of the Galaxy was when they said, "Hey, we're going to make a Guardians of the Galaxy movie." Everyone's like, "What the fuck? Why are you going to take this obscure 80s?" early 90s team and make them and give them a movie? It's like, okay, cool. People trusted the process and went with it, though. They didn't go in going, I hate this. And as soon as there was rumblings of a Captain, so originally I remember when they first said there was going to be a Captain Marvel movie, it was like, oh, Brie Larson, it'd be great as Captain Marvel. Yes, Brie Larson, da 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 da. And then midway through, it's like, I don't know why we have to have a female-led run. It's like, whoa, okay. Bit of a, why should she get a movie and Black Widow doesn't get a movie? It's like, all right, weird.
Black Widow did
really
get a
weird.
movie.
I know, but in a long time. I mean, it's just really weird that we still have such a problem with female superheroes.
Yes. I agree.
I don't get it. Even people are very quick to tell you that Black Widow is a flop too. Black Widow's a flop, and should have never been made. And da 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 da. The problem with the She-Hulk TV show that everyone has had a huge. The only one that seems to have gotten away from a lot of criticism is Ms. Marvel, the TV show that Iman Vellani starred in. And this movie comes straight off the back of that TV show. I can't help but think the delays in the movie making process also have a bit to do with the reception of the movie, because if this came out closer to the end of that show, it would make more sense. Like
Mhm.
the end of the show corresponds with the start of the movie. So it's been over 12 months that we waited for, which in Marvel world is nothing, but for the general public, if they don't know these
Well,
characters,
we also had a strike in there.
yeah,
Where you
and
weren't
they
saying
haven't been able to
anything.
they haven't been able to do promo for the movie, so
Yeah.
that obviously hurts as well.
Well, I mean, do you think? Again, I think I'm probably not as in tune to it. But like everything that's been going on with like the whole Disney end of it, where like all the guys from Guardians have dropped out of their contracts and don't want to do the last film or don't want to work any further. Like Dave Bautista and all those guys.
Yeah,
Do you think it's some of that kind of like Disney backlash?
I think a lot.
That feeds into that.
I think there is a lot of superhero fatigue coming in as well because there is a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of superhero movies, and what Disney are going back doing now is going, all right, maybe we thin the herd a little bit.
Well,
we concentrate on quality over quantity. Like they were throwing everything at them to see what would stick, whereas they know what sticks.
Industry is the king of beating a dead horse.
Yeah.
If something makes money, let's make more of it. Let's make Fast and Furious 758.
Exactly.
Come on, if something's making money, let's beat that dead horse until we can get every penny out of it. So
like, look at
the Marvel universe has glutted the movie industry, but there are a lot of the fan base that doesn't want to give a female lead a chance.
Which makes me wonder,
because of Black Widow and because of Captain Marvel and the blowback that we've seen on those character movies.
Which makes me wonder how Madam Web, which the trailer dropped last night, is going to be received, because if you want obscure characters, that's an obscure character to give a movie to. Like she's heavy in the Spider-Man mythos. So in this movie, we get introduced to 3 variants of Spider-Woman. So Sony and Marvel are trying to do this thing to make it all happen at once. But I don't know, like, was that the right way to do it?
I feel like Into the Spider-Verse has not been as well received as the
individual
Spider-Man movies as well.
Yeah.
Like,
it depends. I guess you mess with people's intellectual property, and like the people that love Spider-Man stuff love capital L love Spider-Man stuff, but these obscure characters, I think that's what TV is made for, to make so I've watched Moon Knight is a great, like, I didn't know much about the character of Moon Knight before I watched the Disney Plus show, and it's brilliant. It's so good. Like, just even the cinematography on it, you're like, oh my god, it's stunning the way they filmed Egypt and everything like that. It's absolutely stunning. The same for Werewolf by Night. These really random characters. They did a black and white Halloween special to introduce that character into the Marvel universe. When they do it in interesting ways, I don't think people have a problem with it. When they're like, this is what you're going to like. You're going to like this, as opposed to waiting for people to actually glom onto it. I don't know. It seems weird.
TV is so much more accessible, though. You don't have to commit a lot of time. You can stay right in your house. You can watch it. Even now, with all the luxury movie theaters, going to the theater has become a chore.
Oh my god, it's so expensive.
Yeah.
And
I went last night. I had a stroke.
I'm a moviegoer. I like to sit in the dark.
I like
in
the
a
movies.
big screen. I like to be surrounded by my cinema. But the more I go, the fewer people are there.
Exactly.
I went to see Killers of the Flower Moon. There was 15 of us in the theater.
How was that? Was that any good?
I think Martin Scorsese is hitting the end of his relevance. It was good.
Yeah.
It was very good, but at times it felt like, Goodfellas set in the Northwest in the 18th.
Yeah.
That's just, that whole story though, like the actual historical story, like is like amazing to me. Like that whole.
Oh no, and it's based
thing.
on it's based on actual events.
Yeah.
And these are real events. But there's at times it felt a little too much like The Godfather or The Goodfellas.
Yeah.
I'm just pissed off at Leonardo DiCaprio for dropping out of that H.H. Holmes movie. Devil in the
Yeah,
White
right?
City.
Oh my god, I thought that was
I
going to
want
be
to see it.
That would have been
I want to see
phenomenal.
it.
That would have
Yeah, I
been
know.
incredible.
Apparently, they were looking at Keanu Reeves, so we'll
Ooh,
see.
I love Keanu.
You never know.
Oh, I don't know if I like him as
I
that though.
Yeah, we'll see. But after I read the audio book to the book, I was like, oh my god, this would make a great movie. Who doesn't love a killer hotel? Ugh.
I think
Yeah.
Leo needs to move
Yeah.
into character roles and out of these leading men roles. I think he's lost his leading man charm.
Well, he's 49 now.
Yeah.
Old Leo.
You know? Well,
Still dating
you know,
those
if he was
23-year-olds
a woman,
though.
his career would be over.
Yeah. He'd be grandmother. He'd be playing a grandma by now.
Yeah.
But everyone's favorite, she's not really grandma, she's a fucking icon. Stunned the world
She is
this
an
week
icon.
with the lovely Jamie Lee Curtis being photographed with Lindsay Lohan, who is looking good. Looking almost teenage Lindsay Lohan there, actually. This is Jamie Lee being smart again. This photo was released the day before the strike ended. She's like, "Hey Disney, remember us?
Yeah.
Remember these two? Remember these two ladies?" I've got to give it to Jamie Lee Curtis. She has some fucking hustle, man. She makes those Halloween movies happen when she wants them. She gets that back door off the end of it, and then now she's like, you know what? I think I'll make Freaky Friday 2 and give Lindsay a bit. This will be Lindsay Lohan's big screen comeback. Like
She
this will be
grew up in the
big.
industry. She knows how it works.
Yeah, she grew up. She knows how to do it. But
She's from my hometown. My sister played travel soccer with her.
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Really awkward because she was much older than them. But
Cool.
she, like you said, she gets what she wants, so she wanted to play. I don't know.
Yeah. Wow.
Uh-huh.
That's amazing. I would die. I don't get celebrity by people much. I can handle it. I think she's one of those people I'd be like, hello,
Oh,
Jamie
yeah.
Lee Curtis.
I'm a
Hello,
big
Jamie
girl.
Lee Curtis. You're
I'm
Jamie
gonna
Lee
give you a
Curtis.
plunge.
Jamie Lee Curtis. Yeah, I'd probably freak out a little bit about that one. Okay, so this is really weird news, and it came out of nowhere. Pink is fighting on the side of literacy and inclusion
Yes.
by giving away over 2,000 banned books on part of her tour in association with Pen America. Now, Vera, you probably know a bit about this, so I assume.
I do.
Yeah, you want to share it with the folks?
Florida is the state that she's going to be touring in. Florida has some of the most rigid book banning legislation, some of the most successful Moms for Liberty campaigns taking over school boards across the state. And they have banned all sorts of literature, not just the literature that talks about homosexuality, but literature that's been around forever, literature that talks about racism and just teaching plain old history. And Pink, who remains a feminine icon, is giving away these banned books at her concert. She has vowed to give them away at all of her Southern Florida concerts.
I think it's really interesting because for me, as someone who's followed Pink since the get-go, she seemingly had settled in like classic mum rock territory, like I do it for the housewives and like all that kind of thing. And I feel like they took her teeth away from her a little bit. She settled in like radio. I'm radio friendly. Everything's fine. Where she used to say an actor, like she used to have this bombastic personality.
Oh yeah, she was.
She wasn't afraid to call spade a spade.
Forever.
But this is cool. This is the Pink I remember who was like, "Oh, you want to ban a book? Fuck you. Here you go."
I don't ever remember her being mom rock.
It's just in the last couple of years, like she released a song with her kids. Like it's like, oh, really?
Because you
want to release a song with your child? Oh,
I don't see that. I think she's been a take no shit kind of girl for the get.
I do love on TikTok that I think it's a Scottish guy that's like, Pink, get down, There's nothing that you sing about that justifies you hurtling around the audience at 500 kilometers an hour, 700 feet in the air, which I will agree. Like
I will
the first
also
couple of
give you
times,
that.
it was amazing. It's like, fuck, this bitch is flying everywhere. But now she does it every
The
second
aerial
song.
work
It's like,
is
we get
cooler
it.
than hell, but
We get it. Like she
really
can sing and do
not
aerial work. That is
attached to
stunning.
her
It's
singing
amazing.
career in any way or
But
shape or form.
she
other
does
than
it all the
she's doing
time
it in
now.
her
I feel
house.
like that's how she enters the room now. She's just like, ooh,
Yeah.
I'm here. And to watch it in person, yes, amazing. Like I'm like, cool, this is so cool. But it's also the reason I'm not going to the tour in February. Because I've
I would
seen
love
it.
to go see Pink.
I've seen it. I've seen it 4 or 5 times now. I don't
Mhm.
need to see it again. Do something
I would
different.
love to see Pink in concert.
She's an amazing artist, amazing catalog. The stuff is amazing, but because I've been to every show, I've seen it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's like the Chanola's worn off, but these books are not controversial ideas, right?
They really shouldn't be
To the
but they
rest
are
of the
in
world.
Florida. They are in Florida.
One of them is about girls who code, isn't it? Like, so having like
Well,
giving females
female
information.
empowerment is not a popular subject with the Republican conservative movement.
Yeah, and you know what defines a family is also not, you know,
right.
Why's the bluest eyes on there?
The Bluest Eyes about racism. I haven't read it.
But that's Toni Morrison, right?
Yeah, it's Toni Morrison. I believe it's a person of color who has blue eyes.
Wasn't some of it, there was something to do with the inauguration?
No, that's the
other one?
Book.
Yeah, so why is that on there?
Huh?
Why is that on that list?
Oh, her poetry, because her poetry is about rising and you know, exploring your potential. I don't know why it's
so it's all right when it supports the patriarchy, though.
Yeah, it doesn't support the patriarchy.
It depends on how you weaponize the art, right?
Yeah.
Silly me. Oh dear.
You know, and you know, Alice Gorman herself is a woman of color.
Yeah,
is child of immigrants. You know.
You know the foundation that America's built on, but you know.
Well, not according to the white male conservative establishment.
Whoopsie daisy.
You know,
we'll pick it. We'll cherry pick. It's okay.
Conservative establishment wants to, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I feel you. I just
they want to whitewash that history.
I just love how we want to pick and choose from our history as to what's relevant in what parts. As we've said on this show, book burning and book banning never leads to anything good.
No, you are never on the
that
right
is not the signal. That is not a signature of good times to come. It's like, yes, we'll ban some books.
And
there
I
was
say
even
this all the time, and I really do believe it in my core. And I may not like what you are saying, but I
have the right to say it.
my life, you're right to say it.
Exactly.
You know,
it's very interesting that this came up because on the news today they were talking about the remodeling of Hitler's house. Hitler's home is being remodeled as part of a police station / civil rights kind of thing, but they're changing some of the facade because people don't want to be reminded of what happened in the 1940s.
I have a real problem with that.
I have a problem with that.
Be reminded of that.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, you don't get to erase history like that.
Right.
It's like, no, that's okay.
If you erase that history, you're doomed to repeat it.
That's just like saying that, you know, the Americans got on their boats and everything. It is just like, yeah, take it. We'll be right. You'll be okay. We're just gonna go live. We're gonna go live over here. We don't need your blankets. It's all good. You know.
Yeah.
You keep your smallpox. It's just
the
English coming to Australia and everything was fine. We didn't slaughter people. It's all good.
Yes, of course not.
They just disappeared. I don't know where all these native people went.
They were here.
It's gone.
They didn't understand money. We had to teach them.
That's the thing that'll kill you, not understanding money. All right, yeah. We're going to go a little bit over time just because we have to talk about this, but I need your point of view on this. I like to think on our show, and we have talked about relationships and what defines marriage, etc., etc. And I'm glad we have the groom, the recent groom here to discuss this, because this is a very interesting article that came up across our page this week, where a recently married couple decided to share their wedding night with a bridesmaid. So the three of them had a lovely time at their wedding, and then this is a couple that they've met the wife swap with. Interesting.
Wait, what?
Confused.
They're
Yes.
swingers.
They're swingers.
So
They
they
invited other people
on
into
their wedding
On their
on
wedding
their
night.
wedding night they wife swapped?
Oh no, on their wedding night.
They
So
took one of the bridesmaids home.
yeah, they took one of the bridesmaids into their marital bed. Their first night to get all that. Their first night as man and wife.
Find out that this was not something they'd done before.
Yeah.
Really?
Really?
No, like I don't know how I feel about it.
We'll go to you.
This probably is going to come off a little bit more misogynistic. But if they were on their wedding night, if this was something that they talked about that they wanted to explore, and they were like, you know what, let's wait till our wedding night. That would be an amazing time to do this. And everybody was game for it, and they tried it. The threesome, I can kind of understand.
Yeah,
I guess. The wife swapping thing, that I don't get. That I do not understand. To me, there is a foundation to a marriage. There's a reason why you get married. There's a reason why you make that commitment. I mean, look, to each his own, and I'm not telling anybody else how to live, right? But for me, I don't understand why you would get married to someone. Why go through all the marriage aspect of it just to be like, oh, well, you take my wife and I'll take your wife and we'll have a good time tonight. I don't get that. I don't get it.
I get your confusion because I've been there, but I do have a couple that I've been very good friends with for a long, long time that are swingers. They have this arrangement. They've had this arrangement for years before I even met them. And when I first found out about it, I was aghast. I was like, oh my God, why bother being married? Why, they're just cheaters. And you know what? They stayed together their whole life. I have other friends who've never cheated or never had this arrangement, and they cheated and their marriage went to hell. Yeah, I just decided it's not my place to judge them. If it's working for them,
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm not judging them, but I'm just saying for me, like, I don't understand. Like it's just not. It's not in your. It's not my cup of tea. Yeah. Like I would never judge. I would never judge somebody because they don't believe in the same God or that they're. You know what I mean? Like you do you. Like that's fine. Like you guys do whatever works for you. I just don't. I don't understand it. I'm not the type of guy who would be like, hey, have sex with my wife in front of me, and I'll have sex with your wife in front of you, and this will be awesome.
I don't 100% understand a combustion engine, but I still drive a car.
Yeah. I like it. I think it goes back.
No, I'm just gonna say. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go. Finish up. Okay.
No, I'm just saying, like one of my biggest fears, like even in a threesome situation, right? Even if it was another girl, like
you don't want to get left out.
One of my is that what if like she moans differently? What if she likes something that I'm not providing? Like, I don't know. Like, there's just a lot of like, I guess maybe fears or like insecurities involved in that.
Oh yeah.
But
I think you've definitely got to have a strong relationship, which is what I was going to say, and what I have said every time this comes up. I think mature, healthy relationships require a lot of communication, and not just communication on the good stuff or the hard stuff, but on the stuff that makes you feel a bit like there are millions of people in the world that are bisexual, that are curious, that are etc. etc. That all you have to do is get on a phone app and you'll find them. You'll find them. They're out there with wedding rings on, going, "I want to do this, this, and the other."
Well,
my wife doesn't know. But why, when you were dating or before you got married, did you not go, "Hey, is this a deal breaker for you? Then maybe we shouldn't get married."
Yeah, there's a lot more honesty and a lot more trust in bringing that third person into the bedroom than there is hooking up on the down low.
Yeah.
Oh, the third person is.
It's the wife swapping. It's the
Well,
Tim doesn't have big cuck energy. It's all good. We feel you.
I mean, I've talked about with Melissa, oh, hey, is this something you're into? Or, how far would you go with this? Or, would you be into that? And, we've talked about those things. We've had discussions about it, even down to well, what type of porn gets you off? What does it for you? And
as an adult, you can have those conversations.
Yeah. And, I get it. And there's things that she said where I'm kind of I'm not necessarily into it, but I would give it a shot. You know what I mean? If that's something you're into, I would try it. I think it really comes down to an insecurity, at least for me, where if we brought another woman into the bedroom, which is, again, this is why I say it sounds misogynistic. Oh, of course, if it's another woman, then I get all the pleasure. But that's not what I'm saying. But right, that's what I'm saying. She could, but there's no fear in her finding him better or more attractive or whatever. So it's I don't have that fear of losing her to another person. Whereas if there was a guy involved, it's well, is he bigger than me? Is he better than me? What's the deal here? Where I think those insecurities play into it.
Wasn't it the first season of Friends where Ross and his wife brought Susan into the bedroom?
Carol, yeah. But at least you can admit that, Tim, whereas a lot of people can't. A lot of people are no, it's disgusting, bro. It's okay, well, maybe it's a self-doubt thing. It's a confidence thing. It's a belief in, some people believe in the sanctity of marriage. I don't know how you can with shows like Married at First Sight or whatever.
I'm a sexual deviant. I mean, I consider myself fucking kinky, right? I will do some weird shit. But it's
OnlyFans coming soon.
Yeah, trust me, I've tried. I lost my train of thought there. But
I don't
know.
I'm interested in a whole variety of things. I just have so much body anxiety. I can't pull it off.
But look, that was an issue when me and right. Well, that's what was me and Melissa's kind of issue when we first started dating, was that she was very insecure about herself, and I'm we're past that point, though. You know what I mean? I'm not. Once we're here, I'm no longer passing judgment on anything. There's nothing for you to fear me seeing or doing where I'm oh, that's no.
That comes with time and knowledge, and that's right. building an honest relationship.
And it's funny because I'm not
honestly, it's
fine. And I'm not a jealous person by any means. I'm not jealous at all. I think that she wishes I was more jealous. You know what I mean? But I'm not. I know. Because I'm a little bit of a flirt, so I understand if somebody else is a little bit of a flirt. It doesn't mean I'm gonna go behind your back and cheat, but that's just who I am. That's how I interact. So,
and if you're doing, I think,
I don't know.
If you're doing it out in the open, you're not doing it behind closed doors.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right. I'm not sending sneaky text or changing someone's name in a phone or doing anything like that. But,
exactly. And
it definitely comes to a certain comfort level in communication, like you said. I mean, that's really the basis of all of it is communication, I guess.
And then sometimes you might just meet someone or a couple of people and go, okay, this is going to happen. And you deal with it. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say to not incriminate myself further. But I think it's, we'll talk about it off air. It's all good. We'll talk about it off air. But I just think it's her family didn't come to their wedding because they were apparently
that's
interested in
bullshit.
this. They were
That's
interested.
bullshit.
They were interested in the swinging culture before the marriage, which
That's
is,
bullshit.
you know,
You love
it's like
somebody,
if
you love them warts and all.
yeah, like they're legally binding together. Like I don't know how much more you want from someone. Like
Yeah.
marriage in general is a piece of paper unless you decide to make that commitment. You know what I mean? It takes the individuals involved to make the commitment to want to grow together, to form a relationship. Da 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 da. Otherwise, it's just a piece of paper. You know. So they've made the decision that they want to be together, but they also want to, you know, sexually be with other people. Cool. At least they're honest about it. No one's heart's going to get broken if they are open and honest. So more power to you. Fap away, I say. Go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it. You know, just make sure everyone gets their tests and you'll be all good. But while things are hot, they need to get a little bit hotter. We'll release our steam with an overdue Veer events. Always these shows where I think we're not going to have enough to talk about that we go over time, but that's okay. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, vent.
All right, kids, if anybody's still watching now at 106, I want to talk about the rise of global populism. It's becoming more and more apparent that we are at a global tipping point where right-wing ideology, even though it remains a minority ideology, is gaining more and more power all the time. Not since World War II have we seen this much populism in the world. Most specifically, the right-wing populist. We see populist leaders in near or in seats of power all around the globe. We had Donald Trump, we have Viktor Orban in Turkey, we have Bolsonaro in Venezuela, Kosinski in Poland, Marine Le Pen in France, Georgia Meloni, Vladimir Putin. I mean, Pauline Hanson in Australia, she's a global populist. And the recurring themes of global populism are anti-environment, anti-globalization, anti-immigration, very Eurocentric, very white male driven. They are pro-nativism. They want sealed borders. They want misogynistic male and female roles. And it's taken on a huge popularity since the global recession in 2007. And one of the things I want to talk about is how did it get this way and how do we stop it? We know that populist leaders rise to power by eroding the checks and balances of their country's democratic state. We've seen that here in the United States. We've seen it all around the world. They delegitimize the press. They start to legislate human rights and personal rights. They start to take over legislative bodies. They start to take over the courts and redefine the court system, and they start to control voting. And they always have this ethnocentric, powerful male role model. You know, even the women, Georgia Meloni, she is the granddaughter of Mussolini, and she loves telling people that. You know, for years, people hid their relationship to Mussolini. Now she can't be happier, you know. But there is a way to keep this moving forward, to keep progress going. And we have to learn to embrace progressive centrists. And I know centrists are wildly unpopular, especially centrists like Joe Biden. We love to make fun of him falling down and him getting stuck on words. But he is the man for the moment in this country. He has proven that he can get shit done. I don't love everything he's done. You all know that he wasn't my first choice, second choice, third choice, fourth choice, or even my fifth choice. But as a president, I think he's done good deeds. But we have to remember that he is our progressive centrist. Remember that there are no legitimately, democratically driven populists. They do not support the right to vote, and they do not support the rights of the many. Populists build their base on fear. And this particular movement in the world today is built around that economic fear that came out of the global recession of 2007. Do not give in to that fear, my friends. We have to push forward. We cannot let the wrong side win. And we can't, they are motivated also, and they motivate people through the loss of fear. That other, that gay man, that black man, that woman, they're coming for your jobs. They're going to take your status. They're going to make you less than. Meanwhile, they're using words like the vermin, talking about setting up camps, talking about taking out their political opponents. The strongman language is scary as fuck, and we need to stay awake to it and stay away from it. I wish I got hotter, but we spent all our time talking about other things. But damn, this is scary as fuck, and we need to pay attention because it's out there, and there are more populist people in power than at any time since World War II. And look how that turned out. Stay woke, kids.
Yeah, we got all hot under the collar about, swingers and all that kind of. When sex gets involved, the podcast gets very distracted, but that's like, we admit that. But it feels like it must be time for another uncensored confession soon. It's like everyone's getting a bit antsy about it. So if you would like to put yourself forward for an uncensored confession, if you've got a problem or a story or you need some advice, if you go to our Facebook page or to our Instagram, there is a form that you can fill in that is absolutely anonymous, and we will give you our expert opinion on anything that you have to want to share with us. Thanksgiving's coming up, so there could be some interesting stuff coming your way as well. But we are massively over time. So thank you, Christina, for joining us tonight when she was here. Thank you, Tim, and thank you, Vera. It's been swell. We're all going to, I don't know, go do some home renovations and swing, I guess. That's the general public today. Watch some female superhero movies. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week. Bye.